What's up LEGO fans, it's LEGO Man Cam, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a bunch more totally forgotten LEGO Star Wars sets. You guys seemed to really enjoy the last video and had a lot of suggestions for other sets that people may have forgotten about, so let's get right into the video with a set from 2013, the HH-87 Starhopper. This set is based on the bounty hunter arc from the Clone Wars, where Obi-Wan Kenobi goes undercover as a bounty hunter named Rako Hardeen, and he gets involved with a whole range of bounty hunter shenanigans. The set includes the HH-87 itself, as well as a small speeder bike. You get Rako Hardeen, as well as Cad Bane and a Nikto guard. All three figures are exclusive to this set, so you would think that it would be a more well-known and recognized set. Well, this set was actually a Walmart exclusive in the US, which led to it having a very limited availability and only a really short shelf life of just 1 year and 4 months. The ship itself is actually quite unique compared to some other LEGO Star Wars ships, but it is kind of forgettable, and the dark tan and lime green color scheme isn't the most appealing combination. The set is far from the most forgettable on this list though. Next up, we have a viewer suggestion from MJax78, and this is the 2012 UCS B-Wing. This set is definitely one of the most underrated UCS sets, I think, and I think that has a lot to do with so many other awesome sets being released around the 2012 and 2013 period. For the set itself, a lot of people, myself included, do not like the cockpit design at all, as it uses a Jedi Interceptor windshield, which doesn't really look that great in my opinion. The rest of the build is okay, it's just not remembered as being one of the best UCS sets of all time. In also saying that, similar to the HH-87, this set only ever had a year and 2 months shelf life, making it come and go pretty quickly. The set was also pretty overpriced at $200 at the time, considering it only had 1,487 pieces. In today's money, that would be about $275, which is far too much for this set. I think the lack of a minifigure as well also contributes to it being pretty forgotten. Now we have one of the most random LEGO Star Wars sets of all time, and this was another viewer suggestion commented by this really long name that I'm not going to attempt to try and pronounce, but thank you for your suggestion, and this set is the Sand Speeder. So the Sand Speeder is a set from 2018, and it's really forgotten about. As the name suggests, this is just a snow speeder, but in a sand color scheme. It uses a tan and dark tan mix and pretty much follows the typical sand speeder design that we've gotten from LEGO around that time period. There's also a radar dish to the side, which also looks kind of cool and has a good use of a big ugly rock piece that's actually turned on its side. I thought that was pretty interesting. The two minifigures are both exclusive, but aren't super desirable either. They do look quite nice with some new printed helmets though. I think one of the coolest parts of this set though for me is the white snake piece, which looks really cool because everyone is used to getting it in just green or red, so it was nice to get it in a unique color here. Anyway, this set is supposedly based off of a cancelled Kenner toy, which happens with a lot of other LEGO Star Wars sets as well. Something like the Republic fighter tank from a few years ago, getting the 187th clones, they were actually based on toys. In all honesty, I think it is actually a really cool set. It just never appeared in any kind of TV show or movie, so no one has any real connection to it, which makes it fly under the radar and become really forgotten. Now we have the construction line of LEGO Star Wars buildable figures, which I'm not gonna say are forgotten, because they were heavily memed upon because of their ridiculous designs and looks and being really ugly. I'm talking to you, Jyn Erso. It's actually crazy how so many of these sets can apparently still be found in some stores on insane discounts, because literally nobody wants them. However, there is one of these buildable figures that I think stands out amongst the rest and is completely forgettable because not many people know about its existence. This is the Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike from 2017. Ultimately, I actually do really like this set, and I think it's an awesome looking display piece because both the Scout Trooper and the bike look really great in this buildable style. However, I've never seen anyone talk about them too much. When people do mention the buildable figures, no one really thinks of some of the better ones. Everyone kind of tends to think about the bad humanoid looking ones, but I think this is one of the better ones, and especially since it includes a vehicle, it makes it a really nice set. Continuing on with this though, there are actually two more of these buildable figure sets that were never released and cancelled in 2018 with the end of the buildable characters line. The first of these sets was a super battle droid. Now, there were leaked images of this that were floating around the internet. Unfortunately, I can't show any of them to you just because of copyright reasons. However, it would have looked pretty much just like you would think a regular super battle droid would look in this buildable style. The other cancelled set here was a 501st Trooper with an AT-RT, very similar to the Scout Trooper one, as this one would have cost more than your average buildable character because of the obvious vehicle inclusion. I'm sure this one would have actually looked really cool, as all of the helmeted characters did actually look really nice in the buildable style. It was just that once the helmets were taken off and we got those humanoid characters, that thing started to go downhill. The reason I've put these on this list is because I think they are very, very forgettable, because people forget that these are just some of the only cancelled LEGO Star Wars sets that we know about. These are more than just rumors or hearsay, because we actually have official set numbers and leaked images for these sets, which is very rare to happen in the LEGO Star Wars theme. This means that these sets must have got really far and really deep into production before they were actually cancelled. Now we have a set from 2015 and from Star Wars Rebels. This is the Wookie Gunship. Firstly, a big thank you to Jin Payne for suggesting this set, as honestly it was one that I myself had forgotten about as well. This set was based off of the premiere of Star Wars Rebels, and for $70 it gave you a really unique looking tan coloured Wookie gunship. The set also came with 3 Wookiees and Kanan Jarrus in his updated brown hair variant after the black haired one from the Ghost. There are a few reasons why this set is super forgettable. The first is its really short shelf life, because it was only out for 1 year, which is one of the shortest shelf lives possible for a LEGO Star Wars set. That sort of meant that if you didn't take your chance to get it, the set was probably gone. The second is that it's a really different ship to anything we've gotten from Star Wars before. Now, as fans, we love getting this. We love getting something new and something special. However, for the general consumer, when they think of Star Wars, they think of maybe an X-Wing or a TIE fighter or a big grey Imperial ship, not necessarily a tan coloured Wookiee gunship. Also, being based off of Star Wars Rebels, this kind of hurt the set, as if you were going to buy a set based off of this show, you probably would have either gone for the Ghost or the Phantom, which were out at the exact same time, rather than going for this sort of set. And at the time of release, Star Wars Rebels was not looked on as highly as it is today. It did cancel the Clone Wars after all, and a lot of people were still annoyed at that. Now let's take it back to 2011 with an Endor based set, which is the Ewok Attack. This set retailed for $25 and has not gone up in value very much at all, which I think goes to show you just how forgettable it is. The set came with a small tree build for 2 of the Ewoks to stand in, and then a speeder bike for the Scout Trooper. Overall, this set is just pretty boring without a whole lot going on. Obviously, it gets instantly outclassed by the Ewok Village from 2 years later, but even though it wasn't trying to be the best set ever, this set still feels like it's one of the more bottom tier sets from 2011, with almost every other set being leaps and bounds above it, and this one kind of getting left behind. The last set we'll look at today also happens to be from 2011, and this is from the original trilogy as well. This is the Hoth Ecobase. Now, this is actually a set that I own, which would probably make it very hard for me to forget. However, there's just not a whole lot happening here. It's a decent selection of what would be found inside of the Ecobase, but with so much open space, it does very much feel like a facade. The minifigures are okay. I especially like the red protocol droid and the back to Luke. I think they're pretty cool. But other than that, there's just not a whole lot going on here. Now, the reason why this is forgotten is down to the fact that the Assault on Hoth released just a few years later. And while I agree that that is a really bad set, it's definitely not forgotten because of all the controversy and outrage that it caused. However, this set just kind of came and went, especially being a Toys R Us exclusive, which added to its forgettability. Anyway, I hope you did go on to enjoy the video. If there are any sets that you think are also forgettable, let me know down in the comments below, and please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.